Yo, how is it going, Bears fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Bear Down Podcast. Welcome to our Inside Enemy Territory, episode number 2 on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm your host, Chris. I'm joined today by my co-host, Parth, who is definitely shirtless, and Jaylen. What's up? What's up, guys? So today we're talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We don't have a guest, obviously, for this episode. There's no one on talking with us tonight. But, we know enough about the NFL to do these on our own. Obviously, the Bears are going to play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this Sunday at Soldier Field at noon, so that should be fun. Buccaneers are looking pretty good. Buccaneers are looking pretty good. I'm gonna pass it down to one of you guys first. If one of you guys wouldn't mind just overviewing how Tampa Bay season has gone so far.
Surprising.
Yeah.
So Tampa Bay is currently 2-1. They just lost 2 days ago, Monday night against Steelers by 3, and Fitzpatrick still looked really good to me, honestly. He's put up 400 plus yards
in 3 games. First person ever to do that.
So first 3 games, I think he has 10 or 11 touchdowns and
11. Yeah.
He threw 3 interceptions yesterday. I think that's just only 3 interceptions.
Yeah. When you look at the Buccaneers, you really didn't expect them. When Jaylen and I know Parth missed all of our prediction episodes before the season started, but when Jaylen and I were getting on, we were like, "Oh, Bucs automatic win." Jameis Winston returns this week. Obviously, I feel like Fitzpatrick is definitely going to be the starter. I forget what the Tampa Bay head coach is named. Doug Coder, something like that. I forget. I might be completely off. Is it Coder?
It's Dirk Coder.
Coder, okay. Coder. Yeah, their coach announced that they had already known the quarterback plan, and they told Jameis and Ryan Fitzpatrick that. If I had to guess what that is, I think Ryan Fitzpatrick is starting, but I do think if he throws more than 2 interceptions, Jameis Winston will come in. And, Fitzpatrick, I don't want to say he gave away the game because he led a great comeback for Tampa Bay against the Steelers, but those 3 interceptions were all pretty bad throws in the second quarter. And looking at the Bears' defense, in looking at this is definitely, who have the Buccaneers played? The Saints, the Steelers, Eagles, Steelers. I think the Bears still have a better defense than the Eagles, so I'm going to say that this is the best defense that they're up to. They're up against. When I think about this game, I know we're supposed to be talking about the opponent, but when I think about this game, I think it's going to come down to the offense performing. More specifically, Mitchell Trubisky. Kind of looking at his last couple games, I think it's all mental for Mitchell. So if he can kind of get out of his own head and stop getting worried, I think we'll be able to turn it on. But we definitely, if there are turnovers, which I know we're going to be able to force against any team, we forced turnovers against the Packers. We forced turnovers against Josh Rosen, who's said to be one of the best quarterbacks. We forced Russell Wilson into a pick 6 at the first time in a while. So we're able to make turnovers happen on anyone. It's just going to be, I feel like, with Tampa Bay and how good their offense is. Their defense is okay, but I think it's going to come down to, can we capitalize on those turnovers if we get them? Or just like those stops on defense.
Yeah, their offense has been electric.
Deshaun Jackson's coming back and playing good again. Mike Evans, obviously, someone to watch out for. He killed us last year when we played them in week 2.
I feel like he's going to tail us again, not going to lie.
Yeah.
Kyle Fuller is weak compared to him and super undersized.
Yeah.
I've heard Prince Amukamara might not play just because we have a bye week coming up, so they're going to let him get the 2 weeks rest.
So that means Callahan would be guarding Deshaun Jackson, which I like that matchup with Callahan on Deshaun Jackson. But that moves guys, as I said, last week against the Cardinals. If that does happen, that moves Kevin Tolliver and Shaq McManus into roles that they don't essentially want to play. By the way, I would like to say, how did Shaq McManus or Khalil Mack not win the Defensive Player of the Week? They hate giving it to the Bears because they gave it to Trevathan and then they gave it to, I was reading on Twitter today, they gave it to some guy in the Panthers this week, and he had an interception, a sack, and a pass defended. And I was like, McManus did that and more in 5 plays. Anyways.
Played some great special teams.
Yeah. So now we're going to head into our next segment, or something I want to talk about as well. We're trying to script these episodes more as we do this. So what I want to talk about is what to watch for. This is where we're each going to pick on the Buccaneers, one offensive player on the Buccaneers, one defensive player on the Buccaneers, just to watch out for. So we're going to start off on the offense. I'm going to start off. I know I've been talking a lot this episode, but I'm going to start off. I'm going to go with Mike Evans on the offense. He's one of the best receivers in the league. He's huge. Expect Kyle Fuller to be on him. I wouldn't expect Kyle Fuller to do incredibly well, but if Evans starts to get going, that's really not a good sign for us, because Evans, when he gets rolling against anyone, just like an Odell Beckham, just like a Julio Jones, it turns into a nightmare for the defense.
I'm going to go with Ryan Fitzpatrick. I mean, he's been electric the first 3 games, and I feel like if you can keep that level up, it could become a nightmare for the Bears defense. I mean, experiencing trouble they haven't had any trouble yet, so it could. I mean, I doubt they get going, but yeah.
Yeah, totally.
I'm gonna go with the Kevin Tolliver versus Chris Godwin. This is his. I think he should be starting, especially if Chris doesn't play this game due to a hamstring injury, and Marcus Cooper already being out with a hamstring. Kevin Tolliver should be starting. And he's definitely not starting against Deshaun Jackson. He would get burnt, and he's most definitely not starting against Michael Evans, because we would get torched, even though Kevin Tolliver is 6'2". So he should be paying Chris Godwin. And I want to basically watch this matchup because he will be tested. He's an undrafted free agent who will be getting his most snaps that game. So I just want to watch and make sure he knows what he's doing, because last game when he was playing deep coverage, and it was allowing them to get 9 yards a play when he was getting thrown to. So I want to see how he does, and saw his mistakes and got better in the following week. Now he has more experience playing. Yeah.
By the way, I would like to say this is completely unrelated with football at all, but the Cubs are beating the Pirates right now, and if they win, they win the division. So go Cubs. Sorry, Parth, I know you're a White Sox guy. We're all over the place right now. But if the Cubs lose and the Brewers win, then the Cubs just get the wild card spot and not the playoff spot. So or not like the top 4 playoff spot. Anyways, back to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. One player on defense, if you guys each can name one. I'm going to start off once again. Jason Pierre-Paul. He was acquired by the Buccaneers from the Giants this offseason. He's a very good pass rusher. They got a pretty good front 7, I would say, and he's definitely going to be someone to watch for. If I were the Bears this game, I would definitely attack the secondary of the Buccaneers.
I'm going to go with Gerald McCoy. I mean, pass rusher again. Trubisky's struggled against pass rush. He has done picks, many fumbles, so something to watch out for, especially because I'm pretty sure it's top 5 2 years ago, and I mean, Trubisky, we've seen him throw many picks under pressure, roll out over the receivers.
Yeah.
Underthrow receivers, so.
Totally.
Jaylen, do that.
Jaylen, I can give you one if you can't think of one.
Yeah, I can't think of one.
Levante David.
For sure, that guy's a beast.
Yeah. Levante David, I'll just go for you, Jaylen. Linebacker on the Buccaneers, he's really I guess grown a ton in his career in Tampa Bay. He's definitely someone to watch out for. He's gotten a lot better, as I said, throughout his career in Tampa Bay. He can do a bit of everything. He can drop into coverage and guard guys like Trey Burton on some routes. He'll be able to stop the run as well. So, yeah. And then finally, our last segment on this. It would normally be a longer episode if we had a guest on, but this week has kind of been impromptu, so we don't. But we're going to talk about just the struggles that we've seen in Tampa Bay so far this season. So I'm going to start off and say their secondary. Their secondary, I think, has been one of the worst in the NFL. Chris Conte got his ego hurt in the last game after Vance McDonald trucked him.
Yeah, he got placed on IR for his ego getting hurt.
No, in all seriousness, Chris Conte, how's that guy still in the league? But Tampa Bay is actually in this game going to have 2 backup safeties. One backup safety. You know what's funny? They have 2 of the Bears' old safeties. So this is going to be, for the Bears, the Major Wright, if you know that name. Major Wright revenge game.
They still got Major Wright?
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure they do. Do they? Actually, I got to look that up. Hold on. Anyways.
I was like, I don't think they got Major Wright anymore.
I could have sworn that they did. Yep. Safety, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Oh, he's a free agent. I lied. Anyways, the secondary. Their secondary isn't looking too good. It hasn't played too well. They got some good cornerbacks in Brett Grimes and Vernon Hargreaves, but I feel like attacking their secondary is definitely going to be able. We're definitely going to be able to find some holes in that secondary. So that's what I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have struggled on this year. If any of you guys can think of anything else.
Honestly, that's clearly their
I can think of
team. I mean, the whole defense is just weak. But if we're gonna choose a part, if we're gonna go with defensive line or secondary, it's clearly secondary. I can't name one person in the secondary other than Brent Grimes, and I only know Brent Grimes because of his wife. His wife is crazy. Really is like she's crazy.
All right. Anyways,
she's one of those. But the secondary, I feel like the whole offense should have a big day. I feel like Trubisky should have a big day against the Cardinals, but the Cardinals have a really underrated defense. Even though we still won the game, their defense did a pretty good job pressuring Trubisky and making him throw terrible passes. So I feel like he should have a decent day. I'm not going to have high hopes like we did last time because we honestly thought we were going to blow out the Cardinals. Clearly we were wrong. But I expect more from Trubisky. I feel like he should have a nice little game and throw 2 touchdowns again or more, hopefully.
Parth, you got anything?
I'm gonna go with the run game. I mean, Tampa Bay, I don't think their run game has been that good this year, even though their offense has been outstanding. I feel like it's all been on Ryan Fitzpatrick and his play. So the run game will definitely be tested if Ryan Fitzpatrick doesn't get going, and the Bears' run game defense is probably one of my favorites. I haven't seen our running backs get more than 10 yards on us this year, and I feel like they don't have a.
They don't. They don't have. They got rid of Doug Martin, so they really don't have much of a running game. I think that's gonna do it. Tampa Bay is a solid team. They're definitely a force to reckon with. I think they're tied with Green Bay for the best team we played this year because Green Bay's looking kind of shaky and Tampa Bay's also looking kind of meh. But that'll pretty much do it. We can't really do our predictions now because that'll come Saturday. But tomorrow, look for 3 key factors. We're skipping our predictions this week. Actually, we might post them on Friday, but there's a Thursday night game. We'll figure it out. We might skip predictions this week. That's not that big of a deal. We want to get our Bears content up. So that's going to pretty much do it for this episode of the Bear Down Podcast. Any last thing to say, guys?
We're 2-1. We need to stay at the top of the division. And if the Cubs win, this is the first time that the Bears and the Cubs are first in the division since 1989, which is crazy.
Yeah, I think it was 1993.
That's still a long time.
Yeah. Over 25 years. So, go Cubs. Sorry, Parth. Go Cubs. Go Bears. And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out, Chicago. Bear down.